Hey guys, it's Drummond. So I decided that I wanted to make a video about some of my fans. So I went to VidCon this year, which was awesome, and I didn't think anyone would know me, but I guess since I posted a video letting you guys know that I was going to be there, some of you guys showed up, and it was awkward. But so I'm not really good at meeting people, but I guess you guys are even more awkward than I am, because I actually had several people message me and tell me that they saw me different places. I actually had someone send me a message on Instagram of a picture of me sitting at a restaurant with my friends. I had another person comment on one of my YouTube videos saying that they saw me and my friends at IHOP. I just don't understand why people are too scared to come up to me in person. So those are some of the incidences that happened at VidCon, but there have been some even creepier ones here in my hometown. I've had some good ones. I was actually ordering my food at Zaxby's, which I don't usually get because I prefer Chick-fil-A, but on Sundays they're closed and Zaxby's is the closest thing I can get to chicken. I was ordering my food and the girl that was taking my order starts freaking out, and I guess she had watched my channel because as soon as she saw me she was like, "Oh my god, you're Drummond!" And as much as that warmed my heart that someone watches my channel in my hometown, she got my entire order wrong. A lot of you guys don't know, but I can't eat spicy food because honestly, as soon as it hits my stomach is singing and I have to find the nearest bathroom. So I got it in Lynchburg. I was going back to my friend Meg's house, which is in Roanoke, which is actually an hour away from where I work. So I got my food. I'd ordered a chicken salad sandwich and some fried cheddar bites. But when I was in the car, I was like, you know what, I'm going to eat the cheddar bites on the way because I didn't really have a big lunch, so I was kind of starving by the end of my shift. So on the way there, I just grabbed a handful of what I thought was cheddar bites, which ended up being fried mushrooms, which mushrooms disgust me. If you guys haven't checked out my video that I did with Jasmine where we had to eat or wear food, I actually ended up eating a mushroom and you can see my reaction to mushroom. So just imagine what it was like to grab a handful of fried mushrooms, just shove them in my face while I'm driving thinking that I'm about to eat the most delicious cheddar bites. It wasn't good. Then I got to Meg's house and I was like, you know what, it's time to eat my chicken salad sandwich. Got there and it was spicy chicken, which I cannot eat. So as nice as it was to be recognized because of my YouTube channel, it was also kind of crappy that I didn't get anything that I'd paid for, and I'd already driven an hour away, so it wasn't like I could go back and fix it. But I've also had people take pictures of me in my workplace and send it to me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever they've done it. And instead of coming up and saying hi, I've had people take pictures of me through the shelves and then send it to me and try to start a conversation with me afterwards. And honestly, you're probably not going to get a response from me when you do something like that. I would much rather you come up to me and say, "Hey, I know you." I've had people do that. Of course, I'm awkward when that happens, but I much rather prefer to have people come up and introduce themselves to me than send me messages on my Facebook page, which honestly I don't get until days after because Facebook's got that whole thing where they block messages if they're not your friend, and then I have to go to that special folder and find them. But it's still a little bit creepy to get pictures of myself sent to me and being told that you see me somewhere. A little bit creepy. Honestly, the creepiest one that I've ever dealt with was I got off of work and I was actually going, I believe I went to McDonald's afterwards because I was hungry. So which I don't usually do, but I did that night. But I was driving over to McDonald's, which is like a parking lot away from where I work, and this car like followed me to McDonald's. And at first I was just like, okay, we both wanted McDonald's, but this person parked their car while I was in the drive-thru, and then I parked my car after I'd grabbed my food because I didn't want to eat while I was driving because I live an hour away from where I work. But I parked, ate my food, and this car was just sitting there, and then as I was leaving I noticed that they pulled out as well. I actually ended up pulling out onto the highway to go towards my house, and I was like weaving through traffic, and I noticed that this car was actually following me through the traffic, which I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. This person's like trying to catch up with me. I didn't know if it was because of my equality sticker, because I've already gotten quite a few middle fingers because of that. And of course I've gotten that note on my car that I told you guys about in my Charlottesville video. But I was like, okay, this is kind of creepy. So when I ended up getting to the town where I knew there was like an exit into the town and then an exit back out, I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm just being paranoid. And I was like, I'm gonna just take this exit, drive through town, and then jump back on the highway. And the car followed me. And at that point I was just like, oh my gosh, because there's no way someone else would be taking an exit into a town, not stop anywhere, and still jump right back on the same highway that they were just on. So I freaked out a little bit. I called my friend Meg and I was just like, hey, I think someone's following me. And her advice was to call the cops, and I was like, you know what? If they turn off on the same exit to my house, I probably will do that. So about 5 miles down, I take the exit to get to my house, and the car follows me, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this car is following me. So I end up driving pretty fast, and where I live, it's way back in the country, so I'm on the curviest roads you've ever driven on. And because I've driven on them since I was little, I'm pretty good at driving fast on them. I know exactly where the curves are. I could almost drive those roads with my eyes closed. Not that I would ever do that, but I could probably drive with my eyes closed. I know exactly where all the turns are. I know which ones to slow down for. So I was probably going 65 when I should have been going 40, and I ended up losing the person. I actually pulled off onto a road and I watched the car keep going. And honestly, all the way from Lynchburg to where I live is almost an hour drive. So the fact that this car was following me freaked me out a little bit. So I'm a little bit more cautious when it comes to that, especially now that I've had some death threats. Honestly, when it comes to stuff like that, after Christina got shot the day before the Orlando shooting down in Florida, I realized that YouTubers in general, we are putting ourselves out there so that the public can see us, but we don't have the money and the resources that celebrities have to protect them from crazy fans. And I believe my channel in general, just because being a gay Christian, I feel like I am a very controversial person when it comes to my views. So I feel like I anger a lot of people. So that's something that I have to be careful of. So my safety is very important to me. My family also believes that I need to practice being more safe. They wanted me to take my equality sticker off. They wanted me to take off my bumper stickers so that my car just blended in with everyone else. But to me, the equality sticker stands for so much. It's like a beacon of light and hope for other gay people in my community, because I live in a very closed-minded community, so I don't want to take it off. I know it's a little bit risky, but I feel like it's worth the risk at this point because our voices still need to be heard. But I hope you guys like this video, and if you have any comments, feel free to drop them in the comment section below. I definitely want to hear your guys' thoughts on this topic. And if you're one of those people that were a little bit creepy, I'm sorry that this video is about you, but I was a little bit creeped out. Maybe next time you will come up and actually say hi, because I would much prefer to meet you guys. I've met a lot of really cool people that have come up to me and introduced themselves, so why not add yourself to that list? But I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.